We lost 68 cents on this particular trade. Now we're not even going to decide which strategy we're going to use. We're just going to show you where our entry was because we really didn't even have a gain once we entered the trade. Now, whatever strategy you're looking at, this is the proper setup bar. This setup bar met all the qualifications for all three strategies. So this was a proper setup bar, meaning that we could go long once we traded one tick above. So we traded one tick above the next day at 43.71. We entered there. And as I said, I'm not even going to show you where our exit levels would have been because we went straight down once we got into the trade. Just a little bit of a rally and then went straight down. As you can see here, here are two stop placements. Stop placement number 1, stop placement number 2. If you're a more conservative trader, you want to use stop placement number 1. It's less risk. If you're more aggressive, you decide to use stop placement number 2. Now in our last trade, as you saw, we would still be in the trade using stop placement number 2. In this particular trade, if we use stop placement number 2, we'd be stopped out. So we got stopped out at 43.03 for a 68-cent loss. If we're using stop placement number 2, we would have got stopped out at 42.60. It would have been over a point loss. So once again, these are things that you can take into your own consideration. That's why we say these are strategies. These are not systems, because a system means that you have to follow the same set of rules each and every trade. We give you the option, we give you all the different variables, and let you become part of the process. Our next trade was in LLTC. Once again, 3 different strategies were giving us buy signals. Let's look at this through strategy number 4. We went long on the 18th yesterday at 31.56, and we exited today at 32.04. So we made nearly a half a point on this particular trade. We're above the buy-sell line. Once we're above the buy-sell line, we're looking for the setup bar. And here it is. This is the valid setup bar, meaning we can go long if we trade above that. And we did the next day, so we entered at 31.56. Here's the 2 options for our stop placement number 1 or stop placement number 2. And here's our predetermined exit level right here at 32.04. So we simply placed an open order to exit here, and we placed an open order to have our stop down here. And as you can see, the very first day we got into it, which was yesterday, we went up to that 70% level, so we moved our stop to unchanged. So had the market fallen out of bed today and gone down, we would have at least broken even on this trade. But things went our way, and we exited at 32.04 for a quick half-point gain. And that's what we say when we're using strategy number 4, we're just looking for a quick, anywhere from a 25-cent to a 3/4 of a point gain. We're not looking for 3, 4, 5 points. If you want to look at that, then you look and know the rules to strategies number 1, 2, and sometimes even strategy number 3. Now we have a couple of stocks in play. These are stocks that we got into today that we have not exited yet. First one was in GD using strategy number 4. We went long at 67.09. As you can see, here's our entry. Here's our setup bar. We went long here. We have a stop roughly around the 65.25 level. If you decided to use stop placement number 2, here's where you would be placed. And this trade does not look too good right off the bat. We had a nice rally today, and GD didn't do anything. It didn't want to participate, but we have an open order to exit all of our shares at 68.68. Okay, so we invite you to follow along with this next week. Our next trade is in TXT, Textron. This is a stock I used to trade when I was on the floor of the exchange. This was one of the stocks I made a market in, and we got a buy signal in this today, so we went long at 21.55. We're above the buy-sell line. So we look for a valid setup bar, and this is our setup bar. All right, remember, once again, if you become a member of Specialist Trading, we'll teach you how to look for these very important setup bars. Now we go long once we trade above that setup bar, and we entered at 21.55. And we immediately placed our exit level here with a gain at 22.03, and we placed our stop down here roughly around the 21 level. So we're protected, and we have our open order to get out. So it's like fishing. You just simply wait. There's no need to look at news. There's no need to subscribe to newsletters or go to a chat room. You know all the rules. This is what we're trying to teach you and trying to instill in you. So you know everything. You're in charge of your destiny, not listening to someone or mirroring their trades. That's why, you know, I don't mind if you want to mirror the trades I'm posting each and every night and the trades that we're actually taking. But I would more likely have you learn and see what we're doing and then apply them to stocks that you're interested in, because you see these stocks, throughout each and every market, throughout each and every indice. The stocks that I post are the ones that I feel are the best high probability setups, but that does not mean those are the only setups. There are tens of more setups each and every night. All right, so let's recap what we did this week. We had 7 trades. Of those 7 trades, 6 were longs and 1 was a short. Now, of the 7 trades, we had 3 winners, 2 losers, and 2 of the trades broke even because we moved our stop to unchanged. Now, we made a total of a little over 2.5 points, 2.57. And remember, we're all about consistency. We're not about hitting all these huge home runs, because if you make, say you traded 300 or 400 shares per week. Let's say you traded 300 shares. Off this, you would have made close to $800, okay? That's over $3,000 a month just trading 300 shares off these small little signals here. Every once in a while, you're going to do something that is, going to hit a home run. You're going to make 8, 10 points. But remember, what was taught to me on the floor is the key to success is longevity. It's not about making $1 million your first year, because there are tons of traders who have made millions of dollars that I used to work with on the floor who are now bankrupt. They're now working at Starbucks. They don't have the capital to trade anymore. So the real secret to success is to be able to hit these singles and not go for the home runs. And that's what we're trying, once again, to instill in you, this type of consistency, which is involved in all of our strategies that we teach you at Specialist Trading. Now, if you have any questions concerning what I went over today or anything on our website, please do not hesitate to email me at stephenprimo@specialisttrading.com. Lastly, I ask that you take one last look at our disclaimer. I showed you all of our performance results from this past week, but remember, we can in no way guarantee that any of these results will be repeated in the future. Thank you for joining us once again. We'll be right back here next week with our next list of trades and trades that we took during the week. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.